Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
That if they got into Motley Crue, Tim James is going to call.
Right.
If they got into Queensryche, the real Jeff Tate is going to chime in at some point. And we've lost all those moments where we kind of
they talk Roth and Van Halen.
Yeah, and we kind of and in those days I remember thinking, oh, if that's what the topic they're going to, give it a couple of minutes and the call will come in from the guy who's going to chime in on this topic and then add to it. And that no longer exists. And I'm sorry if they think that Evil's the one that's going to call in and do that, because I didn't ever call in other than the time I was challenged to call in on the air. And then he didn't answer, or the time that I was challenged in the chat and told to call in by him. So those are the only times I've ever called in. The only other effing with him I've done was I emailed song requests with funky names and things that I thought Wendell would sort through and catch
John
on.
John Bonet from Colorado.
Yeah, I think I even sent one that said Johnny Cougar from Indiana.
Right.
What the fuck? You think John Cougar's emailing you for his own song? What the fuck? So I'm just saying there was moments where he wasn't catching on to any of it. I mean, he mentioned his own dad, Dayton in Ohio, requested a Dawkins song, and he played the Dawkins song for Dayton or Dayton in Pennsylvania. And he didn't even catch on that it was that's his dad's name, and the only Dayton. Oh, how many Daytons are even alive with that first name in the state of Pennsylvania? So and he still, because what it is I was testing my theory, and my theory was that he reads this stuff like a robot.
Right.
You know, it comes on the screen like the news anchors. They get the prompters.
Right.
Like the anchor man, you can put anything on the prompter, and he's just over here reading it away, and it's because they're just mindlessly going at it like it's a job.
Right.
And so that was funny to me. But if they stop taking calls because they're worried that me or Andrew are going to call, I'll just put it right here, and we'll just say, and I'm here in the second home of Ed Trunk in Las Vegas. So let's put this on record. You got this, Ed? Put this on record, okay? For serious and everyone out there, Evil and Andrew are not calling you guys.
Yeah.
So go ahead and open up the lines and take the calls. We may be listening. We may have our thoughts, but we have our own platform now, guys. So we don't need to call you. We don't need to have any more dialogue. We're just going to listen to your show, do our own interviews, our own takes on our own things. And that's that. And there can be, you challenged us to do that. So that's what we did. And it's cool. Go back and get Tim James on there. Let these other guys call in.
Tim was good on that show because he kept that thing moving. Now it's 5 hours, 6 hours of drivel. And that's even with longer blocks of music. So, I mean, they're in trouble.
I could be wrong because I generally always, in the old days at least, listen to the show through the YouTube clips because I could usually digest a half hour to an hour at work before I was having to do something and take a break and then come back to it later. But it always felt like for every segment that was just Neely and Aiken chopping it up about a topic, the next segment would be a topic that would lead to a caller. Wes, the guy that was on the cruise. I mean, we can go on and on. Braverman would call in at different times. So to not have that definitely feels like, almost like a third of the show doesn't exist because the other 2/3 is still there. You just don't have that third wild card factor that made it sometimes more funny, and it's not no knock on Neely or Aiken in that regard. What I'm saying is those extra players would make Aiken rant and rave or do a take or that's go off on something that was, and like only angry Aiken could do. So they don't have that anymore. Yeah. So
and they quickly found out because remember they took a call from Sal and that went like nowhere. So that was like their one nut swinger that they would allow to call in, and that guy, it's like having
Aiken doesn't really have any love, I don't think. For that.
No, but they threw a bone at the guy, and he could have shined, but he's kind of like having a 6-year-old calling into a radio show.
Yeah. So, yeah, even when I had my one moment to go on the air, I was not prepared to be called out in the chat. I was not in a place for good cell phone reception, and I still went out to the street with my cell phone trying to go, I'm not going to talk to this guy. Here's my chance to tell him what's going on. So, no, the idea that we're getting in on the calls, guys, not happening. Don't got time for that. I barely have time to listen to your show.
Yeah.
You're fortunate that there's been some Saturday nights where I haven't had any gigs or
Sure.
any business to do, and I've just been home with a kid, and usually he's in bed by the time I'm listening to CMS stuff. So,
Right.
but coming up, I do have some shows for the summer, so we'll obviously still listen to the show and check in and go over topics. But we also have a whole, idea and line of some guests coming up throughout the next few weeks. It is also Pride Month. I want
Ooh.
to make that very clear. And although my brother Wendell would not have any association,
Oh
with
no,
that,
they hate people
would
that are
absolutely, yes,
unlike them.
Exactly, not open-minded. So, me being evil, the younger brother, who's a bit more open-minded and does not afraid or offended by anyone, no matter what the hell they do, as long as you're not hurting animals and kids, I think we're all pretty
And
good.
don't splash that on me.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, I'm going to flip through my digital Rolodex, and I think that we're going to have a guest call in here, maybe do a short interview with Ruth Rubin, who can represent Pride properly in the rock and heavy metal context, and someone that we don't always get to hear from very often. And I'll just throw this link out there. I think the real Dana Strum might be able to reach out and make this happen.
Oh, I was thinking like it was going to be the corpse of Robin Crosby.
Well, there has been a moment or two where I thought, and we could do this, we could explore this if you CMS Wrap Up Show fans out there want to get into this. We're not going to call you CMSers. That's if you're over there on the Brother Show. But for the Wrap Up Show faithful, that's what we'll call you guys. The Wrap Up Show faithful, we may get out a Ouija board at some point in time and then see if the ghost of Robin Crosby may emerge.
Or the ghost of Vicky Fox.
Yes, that's another one. You might have some or Derek Frigo might have some interesting stories to throw.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. There's two dead enough's enough guys from the classic lineup.
That's my point. That's what I was thinking. So they might have interesting takes on what's happening out there. But this person is alive and well and hiding somewhere in the middle of America, and only pops her head out. Well, their head. Them's head.
Wait a minute.
Well,
I'm smelling dead dogs.
You might have the aroma appropriate. Well, if you see the Tupperware salesman heading up with a big box of Tupperware to the front door for a drop off, you might know what's happening. And if you see lots of catalogs full of pink ladies' undergarments, we're definitely on the trail. So
I'm seeing the Lick It Up video.
Yeah, and the thing is Pride Month is an important time for her. This is where she could.
I thought it was they them. Wait a minute. Well, now you're confusing me.
She when out in public, I think she does well. If it's related to Kiss and the music, it's a he. But if it's out in public in their personal, private enjoyment time, it's a she, and she does enjoy kind of the Hillary Clinton lady man.
Oh, the man suit, the pantsuit.
Yeah, that kind of.
Did they perform with Gene Simmons at the Vault? At a vault.
That you're definitely coming over the target. And
like
there
Dead
might have
Dogs,
been,
the Vault, pantsuit.
Well,
that's giving it away.
When I asked the real Dana, he did say that she's been in the studio working on Speedball Jam 2. And so there might be some want to talk about Speedball Jam 2 and where that's going, as well as Pride Month, and how these roads can intersect there in the state of Tennessee.
I think they have something in common with Neely, little feet and little hands.
Exactly, and large egos, very large egos.
Egos, and
there's been many, because there's many times when Wendell goes out in public and people see, hey, Kip Winger's here, or hey, Vince Neil's here, and the same thing happens when she goes out in public. They look over and go, "Is that Paul Stanley? Oh no! Oh wait, is that Mark St. John? No, Bruce Kulick? No, or Eric Carr? No. Oh God damn it! I know you look familiar.
You're not Gene Simmons. You're too short.
And yeah, the word is the pantsuit through Lily throws them off, and but so that's who I think I'm going to reach out to and see for this month and the month of June at some point if we can get her to come on and speak about Pride Month. And then, we have some other guests and some other things lined up here coming up that we're going to, and hopefully y'all have enjoyed the Alan Niven coverage we just had. And we want to thank Jim of Emissary, who's going to be just prior to this segment here, was just on with us. So yeah, good things are happening.
Well, give me a minute here. All right. So the one thing that I think we've been chit-chatting over time.
Chit-chatting.
There was a guy here local. He's actually from Vancouver, Washington area, which is just a hop, skip, and jump from Portland. But he was the original Neely. He was the guy that was doing the I don't know, what do you call Neely's role in
the personal assistant?
He's the assistant. So yes,
yeah,
he was
Don's
the assistant.
assistant.
So
yes.
Dan, this Crenshaw guy, he actually opened for several bands over the years. I think I've seen. I thought I saw he opened up for Schenker. He was like the first band on the bill for Schenker, Anvil. It was him, Schenker, and Anvil. So his band is Garden of Eden, but it looks like he's doing something new. And you'll see a familiar face here on guitar. I think I've shared this with you. It's got Ira Black, who was also in Dokken, I guess. Yeah, right.
Dokken and Bullet Boys for a minute.
Dokken and Bullet Boys for a bit. He might be one to chit chat with.
Yeah.
Not maybe Dan and Ira, but definitely Ira. I'm sure he's got some stories about old Claw Hand.
The Cripple Claw.
Yeah, the Cripple Claw, and then probably Mark Torian stories, right? And
I would definitely like to hear some Bullet Boys.
And
stories.
then
there's got to be some juicy details.
And I'm sure he's up for plugging this new tune. But anyway, so he joined forces with this Dan Crenshaw, and they named the band Crenshaw, and Down on My Luck as the name of the tune. So let's check it out. It's kind of see what you think. We'll play it.
Yeah. Us Neelys definitely like those 10s.
Is that not a good riff? I mean, that's a good riff, right?
I like the riff so far.
I like the riff. The riff's good.
A little bit mystified by the Mad Hatter on the kit, but he seems to be holding it down very steady. So
but
we're going to give him
listen to the
points.
riff. The riff makes this song, I think.
I think so.
Now, I don't know what I think of the vocal. I like the riff. I like the groove.
The production recording of the guitar, bass, and drum sounds very solid.
Yeah.
The vocal, we'll get into here. Let's hear what he's got. But it does sound a little, I would suggest, auto-tuned or processed.
That's what I was gonna say. I think when I shared the video, I mentioned it. Vocal sounds kind of weird.
But that's common in everyday this modern music. I mean, there's no one not doing that. I'm not blocking it for. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing that's weird about watching Crenshaw perform is he's a guitar player. So has this not come off weird? Like he doesn't know what to do when he doesn't have a guitar strapped on. I mean, even in this video. So I don't
I
know.
believe James Hetfield was famous for saying that when he tried doing the shows without the
Oh,
guitar,
when he broke his
didn't know
arm
what
or
to
what?
do. No, before that, in the early days, they tried to just have him sing.
Oh, did they?
Remember in
Oh shit.
Mustang? Yeah, they had a gig or two where
Oh
he's
geez,
only
that
singing,
would
and
be really
Mustaine was
weird.
on guitar, and I think they had McGovney on bass. But the point is, I think he said in an interview he didn't know what to do with his hands. And I can
Yeah.
call it, that's kind of what it feels like he's doing
And
here. I
yeah.
would, if he had evil Knievel management, I would say, Mr. Crenshaw, get a microphone stand and a mic and
Well,
put your hands on that.
that I thought that was weird that they didn't get him a mic. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, you'll get the gist of it here. The riff, it really in the groove.
Yeah.
What it the vocal. Eh,
It's all right.
it's all right. Yeah, I mean, but it really is the groove and the guitar riff. That's what makes this thing, I think.
So far, I would definitely agree with that. And yeah, it does make me wonder. Like, I wouldn't call the band Crenshaw either, though. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Same here. That's the other thing. But he's got something going for him. I mean, he's at least
Yeah.
he's got some musical talent, unlike Neely.
Yeah, I would just think they need to I would just go with a band name of some sort. I don't know that a last name would be, but that's just maybe he's trying to make it like Dawkins,
Sure.
Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Ira Black Band.
Rockin' like Crenshaw. It just
Rockin'
goes
like
together.
Crenshaw. Yeah, there you go. There's the Mad Hatter. And it's a chick bass player.
Yeah. And a hot chick spitting fire.
It's that fucking gallopy riff, dude.
Yeah, it's got a good chug to it. And like I said, the guy on the drums makes me feel like the backup guy in the Tom Petty video or something
that's
when you
right.
look at him.
Yeah,
but
right.
then he hits the drums and you're like, damn, this guy is holding down the beat like he's got, I mean, Mick Brown kind of fat drum sound going on here.
Right. And overall, it's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad
Yeah.
tune, I think.
Yeah.
So let's check out a few more seconds of this. Oh, commercial.
Oh, commercial.
Oh no, it's cracked. It's cracked. It's cracked up. Oh, there it is. He's got a Charles Manson guitar. Yeah, there you go. But even the solo's good.
Yeah. Ira's ripping the guitar for sure. Well, that was Crenshaw, and
So so that was Crenshaw. We've had all sorts of mishaps today,
all kinds
and
of technical difficulties.
I think the best thing is that it didn't happen during our conversation with Jim. That would have really sucked because it was really fun chatting with him. But Crenshaw, again, killer riff, killer groove, like you were saying. I mean, even the drummer's laying it down pretty good on this whole thing. I think it's just a little bit. It's almost there.
Yeah, and if they have any issues with the drummer and he needs a couple gigs off, I'm sure the new Crenshaw, a former Steel Piston drummer, will substitute in and complete the circle. And it makes me wonder, let's just throw this out there as a final thought for everybody out there in CMS land. If Crenshaw graduated from Dawkins personal assistant guy to full front man of his own Crenshaw band, is that a foretelling of the future for my brother Wendell? Will he eventually spread his wings and become the full-fledged frontman of Neely?
He could be like what's his face from Night Ranger, the singing drummer, right?
Oh, there you, yeah, that would be like Kelly Keke. Yes, I'll have the drum kit kind of cockeyed as you can see him while he's
Right.
singing on the, yeah. So that's my that I'm keep your eyeballs peeled as Don starts to get to his golden years and wane off the road. Look for Brother Wendell to get the truck and the trailer and the steel piston name under his belt, or maybe just calls it, like I said, just calls it Neely Band, and
There you go, Neely.
and just hits the road and takes. Maybe he'll take the music to the people.
Yeah, maybe he'll steal Ira Black from Crenshaw, and
Well,
he'll be
he
the
has to
guitarist.
know Ira. I mean, he
That's
has
right.
to have. He was definitely there during the Ira years, so he
And that
he
would be
definitely
great
have
to get Ira on for a chit chat to see if he's got any Neely stories. You can
Yes.
you can let him know. Hey, he's your brother. Does he have any good
yeah,
stories?
Did he have any good stories like I do, obviously?
Right.
So, so we'll leave you guys CMSers with that. To go out and check out Emissary and the Crystal Witch. I'm telling you, if you like metal, you will not be disappointed in that. And go out and check out Crenshaw and Ira Black with their new song that we just played.
Down
for
on
you.
My Luck is what it's
Down
called.
on My Luck,
Yeah.
the chrome, black and chrome version or something, I believe. It's
Yeah,
called. It's
and
pretty
it's
cool.
got a great groove. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we'll see.
So go check out those things, and we'll see what happens with the CMS next weekend when the mighty Wendell returns from his duties with Dawn.
Dawkin. Yeah.
By then, we'll have some more rock music news, I'm sure. I'm sure Ronnie Radke will cause more of a stir. By the way, last minute note, Brittany Furlan was saying that she was reaching out to the fake Ronnie Radke because she was in despair due to her loneliness in her marriage. And so
Wow.
now that's caused her and Tommy to reconcile. So I
Oh,
think
they're
her
back
and Tommy
together,
are-
right?
Well, I
yeah.
think she claims that they're trying to work it out. I don't think that T-Bone's actually made that statement himself.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And so stay hot out there, everybody. It's hot here in Southern Oregon,
Right.
and it's all in the reflexes, as the man from
Oh, there you go.
Big Trouble in Little China
Yeah.
will tell you. It's all in the reflexes, ladies and gentlemen. So
Right.
for us here on the Wrap Up Show, we will catch you next week, and hopefully we won't have so many gremlins and
No
aching IT
shit.
difficulties.
Right.
All right, y'all.
Yep.
I got to get back. Me and Ed Trunk are going to head out to the Sphere
yeah.
right now, guys. Yeah,
That's right. You
We're-
got to go
we're
hit
gonna
the.
boogie. Once he finishes this interview, we're heading over to the Sphere.
Well,
we're
I
at his
heard-
second home, So
Well, I'm sure he's going to want to hit the strip club first, though.
well, he was the one that suggested that they have certain types of music in the strip club, the bands that he had emceed and he personally knew. And it was me and Ed who are going to go down to the strip club, and they're going to cater to us as we get it. And then on top of that, you guys, I said, telling Ruben off the air earlier, I'm pretty sure that Ed is he's the reason why we have the Sphere. He went down there.
Oh,
Ed
yeah.
Trunk and told him, you got to have a big venue that's shaped like a big circle, and I want to see it out of my second home here in Vegas. So they said, you're Ed Trunk, and this is Sirius XM. We're going to go ahead and build that for you. So they went over and did that.
Nice.
So
All right.
all right, so signing off for Ruben, me and Ed here, CMS Wrap Up Show.
Raise your horns high.